Hi, Capricorn and Capricorn Rising. Here's your horoscope for September 2024. I'm Astrologer Joseph Anthony. All right, we're here in the fall season here in the Northern Hemisphere. And I did say at the beginning of the year that we're going to have a strange fall season. And this is because the astrological alignments are indicating this. Now, one of the reasons is now we're entering eclipse season once again, and there will be a lunar eclipse lighting up your third house of communication and ideas. And it's going to be in Pisces. So I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. But what makes this month very special for many of you who are Capricorn rising or Capricorn sun sign, this is a general sun sign reading, Western astrology, tropical whole house. And so is Pluto will be backtracking into your sign for the last time in our lifetime. And so that means that you'll be revisiting the past in some way, questioning, where you've been, what has occurred to you, the relationships in your life, where you're going, the meaning, your goals. Everything is going to be on the table for many of you. And it's not a big deal because it's already been in Capricorn for many years. But this is like one last visit before it leaves your sign permanently, or at least for the next 240 years, and then goes into back into Pluto. Pluto goes back into Aquarius on November the 19th. So this is going to give you an opportunity this month and the coming months ahead to really reevaluate yourself, your identity, your appearance, your wants, your long-term goals. That is all in the picture this month. Now, along with Pluto going back into Capricorn, we also have Uranus here that's in stationary position in your fifth house. So this is going to be about a project that or a situation with either a child or something to do with a romance or something to do with, a creative endeavor that you've been wanting to address. And so between Uranus being retrograde in your fifth house and Pluto retrograding back into your sign, this is almost like a retrograde period, like when Mercury goes retrograde. Which no longer is in retrograde, thank God. But it is basically a review process before we go into this transformational time, especially next year. And this is really for all the signs. But for you primarily, as a Capricorn sun or a Capricorn rising, it's about identity issues. It's about reevaluating everything in your life. And so we'll have 4 outer planets in retrograde mode for quite a while. So we'll have Uranus, we'll have Neptune, we'll have Saturn, your ruler, and we'll have Pluto in retrograde this time in your sign. So it's definitely a time of self-reflecting and wanting to reevaluate everything. Okay, so this is the beginning of September, and here is Pluto backtracking into Capricorn officially on the 2nd, late on the 1st into the 2nd. Now, it is making some positive aspects, so don't think there's anything wrong here, because as you see here, 29 degrees of Capricorn, 29 degrees of Pisces, and 27 degrees of Uranus. So something from the past could be beneficial. If you play your cards right this month, something from the past will be helpful, reconnecting with people, situations, ideas, and changing them up, because that's what it's all about. All we're doing here is having experiences based on the choices we make. And so this month you'll have some choices to make. You'll have to make a major decision, especially with that lunar eclipse that's going to occur on the 17th, and I will talk about that in a little bit. But this month is all about service and work, as well as Jupiter and Mars still continue to go through your 6th house, but also the sun right here is in the 9th house in Virgo, which is another earth sign like yours. So adventure, travel, exploration, having some fun, moving out of the comfort zone is in the mix. But also because there's a new moon in Virgo this month. And this will be right here again in Virgo at 11 degrees of Virgo. So depending on where that is in your actual birth chart, that's where you need to take a look. But generally speaking, here in the sun sign reading, it's in the 9th house. And so this means a lot of things, because this is the house of adventure. This is the house of meaning of life. This is the house of deeper thought, education, travel, exploration, learning, teaching. And it's in Virgo, the perfectionist. And so here we're trying to perfect everything in this area of life. Things like health, things like wanting to change something with regards to your purpose and your goals, your long-term goals. This is going to help you reevaluate all of that. In the next 2 weeks, going all the way up to the full moon, lunar eclipse, you are trying new things. You're breaking old habits, or you're reevaluating everything in your life, and you're having a little bit more fun doing it because we've got Uranus in the fifth, and we got sarcastic and witty Virgo energy lighting up this full moon, this new moon. So this is going to be a good time to take advantage of opportunities, either from the past or something new that you have to reevaluate within yourself. Okay? So now Mars enters Cancer on the 4th into the 5th, and now we're talking about partnerships. Now we're talking about relationships of all kind, whether we're talking business, whether we're talking personal, acquaintances, enemies, whatever. Okay? Now Mars going through the 7th house can bring a little irritation and frustration from time to time because Mars is very restless, and Mars does not do too well in Cancer. Okay, this is a fiery get up and go sign, and Cancer is an emotional, moody sign. Okay, so from time to time, the emotions will flare up. It's just how it works. But this time around, Mars is going to stay in Cancer for about 6 weeks, and then it'll drop into Leo. All right. But then it will slow down and will go retrograde on December the 6th. And then it'll make its way back into your 7th house. And I believe it's January the 6th, Mars re-enters Cancer. Now, what does this mean? This means that whatever you're getting started right now with a partnership, a relationship with other people, you will be revisiting this again next year, January and February, especially going into March, because Mars will be back in Cancer once again, and this time it will be opposing Pluto. Okay, so this is the tricky part. In November, Mars will be opposing Pluto. So there's a lot of friction on the table here, potentially. So you need to be aware of that. This is the beauty of astrology. If you know the trends and the cycles are coming, you prepare yourself psychologically, emotionally, physically, the whole 9 yards. Okay? So Mars, as much as it's going to be about partnerships and getting people together and wanting to be around others, at times there may be a little friction, especially as we go into the end of October into November, because it will be opposing Pluto in Capricorn. All right? So just keep that in mind. Now, Mercury enters Virgo on the 9th, right there. Now, Mercury in Virgo is very analytical. It's very much looking at every little detail and wanting to perfect it. So from this point forward, the next couple of weeks, with the Sun and Mercury both in the 9th house, it's about traveling. It's about learning. It's about perfecting things. The meaning of life, the purpose, wanting to understand the little details of your life. What's wrong? Why can't I fix this? This is what Virgo does best. And Mercury is in its domicile here, which means it works very comfortably in Virgo. And so we will see a lot of analyzing going on about maybe whatever's going on in the world, what's going on in your personal life, what's going on in your family situation, work, whatever it is. There will be definitely more analyzing taking place at this time. Now, here is the big news of the month, which is on September the 17th. It is the full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces. This is going to be at 25 degrees of Pisces. Now, normally a lunar eclipse, any lunar eclipse, is about realizations. It's about endings. It's about completions. It's about, things that need to be finished, things that are concluding in some way. Okay? So this is going to be very important because it's in the 3rd house of communication. So for many of you, whatever you have going on in your personal life, if you're not able to express it, or maybe you're done having conversations with certain people in your life that are just useless, they're not going anywhere, they're not doing anything, and this is going to open up a doorway for you to make a choice in the next 6 months of whether to stay in this current situation, whether it's a relationship, a friendship, a family dynamics, a business, a job, whatever. Okay, depending on your actual birth chart, it's going to say, you know what, I can't do this anymore. I've got to change. I've got to do something else. And this is going to be on the table for the next 6 months. and it begins in the 17th, because eclipses can take up to 6 months to manifest themselves. That's why I say this. And so this is going to be very closely aligned to Pisces. And so this brings in sadness. This could bring in emotion and feelings and nostalgia as well. So this is going to be a very big turning point for many of you. And then next month we have a solar eclipse on October the 2nd in Libra. So that's going to highlight career and status. So whatever is coming to an end here, or conclusion or realization, something else will be opening up here in the 10th house next month. Okay, so that's how it works. But this is going to be a very emotional time, a very sensitive time, a very psychic time. Let's not forget that. You know, Pisces is probably the most psychic sign of the zodiac. And so here we see a tremendous amount of opportunity for change in some way. Now, the sun enters Libra on the 22nd, right here in the 10th house of career, right at the high point of your chart. So relationship themes are on the table. The entire month, really, because of Mars in Cancer. But now the theme is shifted to business and focusing on career and what you need to get done, and you're wanting people around you to help you in some way, or you're talking about relationships on some level. Maybe you're giving guidance to others. And so this is all about beautifying your life, but also about responsibility in your career or with the current relationships. Now, Venus enters Scorpio. Now we add another element of passion on the 23rd, as Venus in Scorpio is very intense. And again, the theme still is relationships, because Venus is about relationships, just like Libra. Venus is the ruler of Libra. Now, in Scorpio, it can be about financial matters. It can be about clubs, associations, organizations, working with community, all of that stuff here. But you add in a higher level of intensity here with Venus in Scorpio. Okay, so it's in the 11th house, about the future. But again, this is going to make it feel like we're going back into the past, because this will be the 4th planet that goes into a water sign. So here we have Venus in Scorpio, we have Saturn in Pisces, Neptune in Pisces, and we have Mars in Cancer. So 4 planets in water signs. This can be an emotional month. This could be a sensitive month, but water signs typically are doorways to the past. And so you might find yourself revisiting the past, in an emotional way, somehow, some way. And so this is going to highlight that. So maybe there's a friendship that ends, or, something that you need to resolve with another, and it's a situation from the past, and that's what I'm talking about. And last but not least, Mercury enters Libra on the 26th. So it's basically about getting back to center, balancing yourself, being more fair and reasonable, and trying to balance everything between work, life, responsibility, relationships, the whole 9 yards. Okay? The downside to Mercury in Libra, it can be a little indecisive, having trouble making decisions. So, but this is about career, and it's about your status, and it's about relationships in general. Anyway, there you have it. If you enjoyed this presentation and you'd like to learn more about astrology, please check out this little video that I have at the end of this presentation. All right? And have a great month, Capricorn, and I will talk to you folks soon. Bye for now. Hi. Thank you so much for watching my monthly astrology. I really appreciate your support over the years. Have you ever considered learning astrology? Well, you're in luck, because I've created a full online astrology course in my private community. It's a full 6-module course that takes you from the beginning of astrology, what it all means, the mythologies, the houses, all the way to the more advanced techniques, such as progressions, solar returns, how to read transits, how to make predictions. It's all there in this course here. And I even dive into some of the mysterious stuff, what some of the symbolism is all about. So I think you might want to check it out if you're interested. Along with the course, we have a very tight-knit community here where everyone helps each other out. And so if someone knows a lot about astrology, they help other people with astrology. So it's a community that really gets involved and, really wants to learn and help each other out. But as you can see here, I have a whole lot more on this private community. I also have the Inner Circle live calls each week. Now, this is something that I do twice a month on YouTube, but here I do them on a weekly basis. And I talk about various topics. You get to ask me questions, we interact, and we learn a whole lot more than just astrology. So this could be anything from astrology to what's going on in the world, predictions, politics, whatever it is, we talk about it in the Inner Circle calls. Of course, I do have videos here that I do not have on YouTube, so you get those too. And then I've got a private resource vault, which has videos that I suggest watching, books suggested reading, meditations, and more. So if you're interested in learning astrology or want to be part of a great community that's really growing fast, head on over to the link down below and click on the link and join today. All right? Thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye for now.